Welcome to a special edition of Tribal Council Chat. As always, we are your hosts. My name is Bruce Heller.
And my name's Brett Parnell.
And do you want
But
to talk?
Bruce, this is not Tribal Council chat. This is going off of a special we did back in the spring where we called a show for one episode only Stanley Cup chat. This is going to be World Series chat. You probably used to, those of you who listen to Tribal Council chat, Bruce and I occasionally interjecting with random sports references.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be predicting the playoff bracket for Major League Baseball. So if you're not a baseball fan, feel free to just tune out of this episode. At this point, we'll be back with another Survivor episode after episode 2 this week. I don't know about you, this preview looks amazing for episode 2 coming up.
It does.
So I'm really looking forward to talking with you about that one either on Thursday or Friday this week. But in the meantime, let's talk about some baseball.
Yeah, let's do it.
So where do you want to start? National or American wildcards?
I'll let you choose. I honestly, I've been keeping track of baseball standings, but haven't been closely following it near as much as I have in past years because
Fair enough.
the Cardinals are just depressing right now. So, but
And
as of today, Mozeliak's retiring and Heim Bloom is in charge. So the new era is starting.
That's good. I like that move as a Sox fan.
Yeah, you guys fired him. So
Yeah,
even though trading Mookie Betts was not his fault, from what I've heard, ownership
no, it wasn't.
had to do that.
It certainly wasn't. It was ownership's fault. I can't blame them too much for what they've done at another team I support, but this is not European soccer chat either.
From what I've read, though, Heim really rebuilt your all's farm system from not very good to being top level. And he drafted a lot of the people you guys are re-signing now. So that's good.
That's it. It's pretty much us and the White Sox and a few other teams that are like the top 5.
Yeah, so Mozeliak had a great run. It was time for it to end about 3 years ago, probably. So I'm excited for a new era, excited to see what Heim Bloom does. And hopefully we're not out of the playoffs for ever and ever.
Absolutely.
We've missed 3 years in a row now. So.
All right, so let's get going. I'm going to start with the defending World Series champions, and that's the Los Angeles Dodgers coming up against the Cincinnati Reds, who were a bit of a surprise to just sneak in.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, what to say about the Dodgers? We mentioned Mookie Betts. Obviously, there's Ohtani there. This team is just set up again to go for a run just like they did before. I think it'll be a little more even than we've seen in past years. There's other teams here that are at their level, whereas I don't really think last year or the year before that there really was.
I don't think there's teams on their level roster-wise, but there's teams that have played as good or better than them this year. The past couple off seasons have really made me not like the Dodgers because every single free agent or big free agent goes there, and they just have endless amounts of money, and it's annoying.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of big free agents, Pete Alonso announced he's not coming back to the Mets next year after they just missed out against Cincinnati on that 6th spot.
Oh, wow.
So he'll be a big market free agent this winter.
That'll be huge. Wonder where.
So what's your? Yeah, who knows? What's your thoughts on this series?
I think LA wins it easily. It's the best 2 out of 3 series.
It's a 2 out of 3. I'm saying LA wins the first 2 and moves on.
Yeah, Cincinnati's not winning a game, hopefully.
Sorry to Nick Wilson, but
sorry to AJ, LA. Who was on our show last week, but he knows.
Oh, is he a Reds fan?
Team, so
I did not know he was a Reds fan, or I forgot that.
Yeah, but he knows I don't like the Reds. He knows they're one of my least favorite teams, so.
Well, they're one of your least favorite teams, but not compared to a team we're about to talk about.
It's pretty close.
Fair enough. Speaking of that, so I think we both agree, LA moving on. we've got what should be, I think, a bit more of a competitive series in the other NL wildcard, and that's the fourth place Chicago Cubs hosting the fifth place San Diego Padres.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I think San Diego has a better roster and they've got more playoff experience the past couple of years, so I'm gonna say they win it, but it won't be the blowout that LA and Cincy's gonna be.
I think we agree on this. I'm going to say San Diego in 3.
Nice.
But I mean, it would be fun if it was. I mean, you bias aside, obviously, probably not for you, but it would be fun from a neutral to see a Chicago Milwaukee series in the second round.
I actually like they're in the Cardinals division, but I don't mind the Brewers when we aren't competing with them for the division. They're a fun team to watch. They've got a fun fan base, I think. So them playing against Chicago would be fine for me. I easily root for Milwaukee to beat Chicago.
Nice. So now we're going to one of the biggest comebacks of all time and one of the biggest collapses of all time in the exact same series. Really, both teams' movements and one into the higher seed is the result of each other. Cleveland played well down the stretch in August and September. Detroit, on the other hand, threw away what looked to be a good shot at a World Series, and now they just squeaked in to the final spot. But we have the division winners, Cleveland Guardians, hosting the Detroit Tigers, despite that only about a month and a half ago, Detroit had a 15-game lead.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. This series is a surprise for me. I think it'll be close as we get down to the end. I'm going to go with a Detroit win anyway in 3 games. But if we did this podcast a month ago, I would have told you that Detroit was going to win the World Series. And now there's no shot of that.
No, there's not. And I think Cleveland wins this series. Detroit's got a great roster. They've got good pitching. Tarek Skubal is awesome.
Yep.
Cleveland's just hot right now.
And that's the thing, though, with when you mention good pitching. When you're in these wild card rounds that are a best of 3, sometimes having a pitcher like Skubal or like Crochet for the Sox can just be that little bit that gets you to win 1 game and then you're 1 win away from moving on.
Yeah.
It's not the same when we get into 7-game series later that require a lot more endurance across both your bullpen, your starters, and the full lineup.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit pulls this series out, but Cleveland's hotter.
And now we have the primetime series that is going to get all the coverage. It's a renewal of the rivalry in the first round. 4th place New York Yankees hosting up to 3 games in the Bronx against the 5th place Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
Who's not looking forward to watching this one?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you're really hyped up for this.
Yeah, I am. Like I was just saying about Skubal, the fact that Crochet led the league in second in wins, led the league in strikeouts. I think that Boston will have the advantage pitching here. Both New York has the advantage in the 1 through 9 lineup with a player like Aaron Judge, probably the either best or second best player in the league this year, depending on what you're looking at. I'm going to go Boston in 3.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to say New York wins. You mentioned Judge. He shouldn't win MVP. Cal Raleigh should.
Yeah.
But Judge is having an insanely great season again. And they've got other good pieces in their lineup. And you were talking about a couple minutes ago about how when you have the best pitcher that can help you, they've got Garrett Cole.
That's true.
So I think it'll go to 3 games, but I think New York pulls it out. They're just a better roster right now,
Nice.
especially if Volpe gets hot.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, we both had San Diego beating Chicago, so we have San Diego, Milwaukee here in a 5-game series.
This is interesting. Milwaukee's been a better team all year. They're the best team in the league record-wise.
Yeah,
But they do this thing in the playoffs where they disappoint every year.
that's true. But so does San Diego.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to give this to Milwaukee, but I don't have a ton of confidence in it.
Yeah,
They've
I'm leaning that
developed
way
the
as
team like
well.
crazy.
I'm agreed with you. I'm not 100% confident in either team to like go really far. I'm going to give it to Milwaukee, but I'm going to pick them in 4. Probably a few one run games in there.
Nice.
Next, we also had the same on the National League side, and it's the second place Philadelphia Phillies with home field advantage against the third place LA Dodgers.
This might be the best matchup all playoffs, honestly.
It very well might be, yeah.
Like these two teams are awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is me just picking what I want to happen. It probably is logical also. You can find arguments for either teams. I'm giving this to Philly. I mean, the Dodgers have Ohtani, they've got Betts, but at the same time, Harper and Castellanos aren't anything to sneeze at either.
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing that's going to hurt Philly is Zach Wheeler being out and not having him on the mound. So
Schwarber's 56 home runs this year too. Second to
I
Raleigh.
knew I was forgetting a huge bat, and I couldn't think of the name. Yeah, Schwarber, Harper, and Castellanos.
Impressive team. How many games are you giving it to Philly?
They normally have Zach Wheeler pitching, but he's out. So
yeah,
someone like an Aaron Nola is going to have to step up a little bit.
That's right. How many games?
I'll say it goes the full 5.
Nice. I'm also picking Philly here. I think there will be a new World Series winner. I'm going to agree with you. I think it goes the whole 5, and that home field advantage and the chaos that is the South Philadelphia sports complex is what pushes it over the edge.
Yeah.
That is, doesn't matter if it's football, if it's baseball, if it's hockey, if it's basketball. That is just a tough city to play in.
And especially if something bad happens in the world, having Castellanos in that lineup is going to help. I'm not sure if you're aware of this meme, but he has a bit of a history of hitting home runs when bad things happen.
Oh, jeez.
I'll find the YouTube video, but there's a couple of them, like on a 9/11 anniversary or something, or like when he was in Cincinnati, one of their radio broadcaster like got caught saying something he shouldn't have on a hot mic and was like apologizing / resigning. And in the middle of him giving that spiel, Castellanos hits a home run.
Oh, wow.
So that's it's funny. Hilarious. The call is you have this like he's giving his statement and like in the middle of this apology and a deep drive to left by Castellanos. But even when even when bad things aren't happening, that guy's an awesome player. Like he's fun to watch.
Absolutely. So we agreed pretty much the whole way so far on the National League. We have disagreements across the board in the American League. So you have the number 2 Seattle Mariners against the number 3 Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah, and I'm giving this to Seattle. Cal Raleigh's awesome. He should win the
He
MVP.
won me my fantasy league this year.
Oh, nice. He should win the MVP. I get what Judge is doing. But Raleigh not only has more home runs, but is a catcher, which you have more influence over the game. It's just a more valuable position than right field, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Judge plays some center too, but I think of him as a right fielder.
Right.
And he's a switch hitter doing it. He should absolutely win the MVP, even though Judge is amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
Raleigh's awesome. They've got a solid roster, and it's not like a Dodgers Phillies type roster, but I think they're better than Cleveland is this year. Cleveland's hot right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if they win because sometimes it's not the best team that wins the World Series. It's just who's the hottest coming in.
Fair.
That's what the Cardinals did in 2011.
Yep.
But so I'm giving this to Seattle, but again, like Cleveland's first round series, I wouldn't be surprised either way.
All right. So I have a different matchup here for me. I have Seattle Detroit, and I'm going to say that this one is pretty much easy, probably the easiest series I'll predict this time. I'm going a Seattle sweep.
Yeah.
I think Detroit might just have enough with the pitching staff to get through the first round. Against this Seattle team, I don't think they stand a chance. Seattle's a contender this year.
Yeah.
For many of the reasons you already mentioned.
Yeah.
They have some top level other players too, if I was to go to the roster.
Yeah, they do. Raleigh's who's coming to my head. Oh, Julio
Yeah.
Rodriguez. That's
Yeah,
another one. If he gets
absolutely.
hot at the plate.
And again, we have a different matchup in the next one. You have the first place Toronto Blue Jays against the fourth place New York Yankees.
True. And that fourth place is a little misleading because of how like the seedings work. The
That's
three
fair.
division winners get the three.
1 through 3.
But
I said 1 through
Toronto
3.
and New York were fighting for the division all year. If it was just by
Right up
record,
until the
not by
last day.
division winner, these would be the top two teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Toronto did pull that out at the end of the season, and
It was a
Toronto
tie.
has one of my favorite non-Cardinal players of my lifetime, Max Scherzer, who's from St. Louis,
Nice.
went to the University of Missouri. Scherzer's not prime Scherzer anymore.
No.
He's
But
still
at the
scary,
same,
but I think Toronto's a young roster. I don't like they just
they
don't
also have other pitching too, though. He's not the main
no.
pitcher that he would have
He's
been
not
10
their
years
best
ago.
pitcher. That's just where my mind went. But ultimately, it's not about him. It's not about their pitching. New York just has playoff experience. They've done this before. They did this last year.
Yeah.
And Toronto's got some great guys like Vladdy Guerrero Jr. They just don't have the experience in these moments that someone like a Judge and a Volpe have that have been in the playoffs the past whatever years in a row.
Absolutely.
And again, whatever pitching Toronto has, Garrett Cole matches it. So
So New York and how many?
New York and probably six.
6? Nice.
It'll be a close series, 6 or 7 for sure.
So I have a Toronto Boston series here. This is where I have to be realistic. Toronto has the season advantage over both New York and Boston.
Yeah.
Which they won relatively quite handily. I'm going to go Toronto in 6 too over the Sox.
And Toronto could very well beat New York in my series. I'm just going off of the banking on the playoffs being a different animal.
Yeah, fair enough. You do have a lot of pitching if you're Toronto. Scherzer, like you mentioned, Gussman, Bieber that they just traded for from the
Guardians.
Trey Savage just came into the team. Talk about a story. This guy's played in 5 teams this year and now has won 2 games in the majors going into the playoffs.
He started leaning on Garrett Cole. New York has other pitchers.
They have Max Fried.
They have Fried. I knew they had 19 games. I knew they had someone that used to play for the Braves. It's Fried. Okay. I had Strider in my head for some reason. So Garrett Cole, Max Fried. They have Carlos Rodon. So Oh, Garrett Cole's hurt right now.
Yeah, that's why I was a bit confused.
I don't keep up with the Yankees injuries, honestly. That
Fair
changes
enough.
nothing. I still think they make it to the ALC. You know what? This
ALCS.
is the DS. It can't go 6 or 7 games. This is the
Oh,
best
you're right.
5 round.
This is the five. It's
So it goes
confusing with
5.
the. Okay, so you're saying it goes five.
I still think Garrett Cole being out hurts, but I still think Rodon, Freed, those guys are still really good, and the Yankees lineup is just stacked. So
I, I'm going to go Blue Jays in four
nice.
against Boston. Even though I'm a Boston fan, I hope I'm wrong, but
Yeah. And they have
either way, it's going to
former
be fun no
Cardinal.
matter what if they play each other in the ALDS because either my team will be winning this if it's Boston Toronto or October baseball in Canada when Toronto's in it is just so much fun, even if you're not a Toronto fan.
Yeah.
It's like the one time a year that there's October baseball or basketball playoffs when the Leafs are already out if Toronto's in it. It's like the one time a year where Canadians care about something that isn't hockey.
Huh.
So it's going to be a fun few days, hopefully a few weeks up here.
Do other Canadians care about soccer the way you do?
Some,
Okay.
not as many as North American sports, but there's a good community of soccer fans in every city.
Also, looking at the Yankees lineup, Cody Bellinger, that guy's got a ton of playoff experience from
Yep,
his time in LA.
in LA.
Paul Goldschmidt was a Cardinal for a while, won the
Yep.
MVP in 2022. His last couple of years here weren't very good. I don't know what he's been doing in New York, but I've got a ton of love for Goldie. Want to see him
Yep.
do well.
The
Jazz
neat thing you
Chisholm, this there, Garrett Cole being out frightens me a little bit, but this lineup is good enough to where they can handle it.
yeah. The neat thing you mentioned about will you say just do people care about soccer as much as I do? The really neat thing to watch soccer in Canada, and I assume it's the same in the US, is there's not like one team. If you go to an English pub on a Saturday morning, there'll be Liverpool fans there, there'll be Arsenal fans there, there'll be Man United fans there.
Yeah.
Kind of like watching the NFL in the States, but in a city that doesn't have the NFL. You'll have
Just
people cheering for everyone.
go to a Buffalo Wild Wings on a college football Saturday,
Yeah, exactly.
which I might do next Saturday because my team has a bye. So
Oh, nice.
we'll see how my budget works out by the end of the week. But
Nice.
yeah, so we have our LCSs set up now.
We do. So this one is the best of seven. Let's start in the National League where we're the same. It's the first place Milwaukee Brewers against the second place Philadelphia Phillies.
I'm giving this to Philly, and NLCS MVP goes to Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I'm also giving it to Philly. Philadelphia is going to be in the World Series, and I'm going to say 5 games.
I'll say 6. Milwaukee will put up a fight, but they're just going to do what Milwaukee does and choke in the playoffs when the lights get
Okay.
bright. So
Next, we have you have the fourth place seeded New York Yankees against the second place Seattle Mariners. Seattle had a get second because of the divisional win, but the Yankees have the better record.
yeah, I'm going with the Yankees in 7. Seattle put up a great fight. Big dumper Cal Raleigh. He'll be hitting homers. Julio Rodriguez will probably be hot, but I'm just the Yankees had a better record during the season. They've been here before, and Seattle's a young team that I don't think was even in the playoffs last year. So
So
we
New York
have
in
playoff
6, you said?
experience big with this Yankees team. So if they let me down, then oh well.
Excuse me. So you said New York in six?
6 or 7. I'll say
Six,
7. I'll
seven.
spice it up a little bit.
All right. I have first place Toronto against second place Seattle. Both really young teams, both really talented teams, not just now, but probably for years to come if they keep hold of their talent, which is very tough in the American League, especially when you're looking at big spenders like the Red Sox, like the Yankees. Um, and then you look at the National League, you have the Cubs, you have the Dodgers, you have other teams that have money and are willing to spend it, San Francisco out there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next few years. I think this will probably be very evenly matched. I'm going to go 6 games, and I'm going to predict the same World Series matchup as when I was 1 year old, Toronto, Philadelphia.
And I've got a World Series matchup from when I was 9 years old in New
Nice.
York, Philadelphia. So
I'm going to say, like I said, they're both young teams. There'll be a lot of power on both teams, some good pitching on both teams. In the case of Toronto, Seattle, I think the fact that if Toronto can get that like one win away on the West Coast, the fact that they have to go to fly home to the crowd under the dome will make all the difference.
yeah, one of the 1,000 building sporting venues in Canada that's named Rogers something.
Yes.
This one's
Funny
Rogers
thing,
Center, isn't it?
yeah, this is Rogers Center. Funny thing now is they just created an outdoor concert venue that's called Rogers Stadium.
Oh.
And when Coldplay did the Music in the Spheres tour this summer, there were people that went to Rogers Center for a concert at Rogers Stadium.
And there's a hockey team that plays at Rogers Arena or something like
That's
that.
in Vancouver, but yes.
There's so many Rogers buildings.
Well, it's the most successful company in the history of Canada for borderline annoying reasons, which is why my cell phone bill is probably 3 times higher than yours.
Nice. Well, not nice, but that makes sense.
No. We're only allowed to have 2 companies that provide TV, internet, cell phone, and one of them's Rogers.
Oh, that's
and if
really
you've
weird.
heard of Montreal playing in the Bell Center, guess what? The other one's Bell.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's just funny that there's so many with the same one because, like, I can't think of 2 down here that have the same sponsor.
Yeah.
Like,
and
for a little while, Miami was in American Airlines Arena and Dallas was in American Airlines, like, Center or something like that.
Yeah.
But Miami's has changed.
Yeah, exactly.
And Mercedes-Benz Stadium is in Atlanta. New Orleans used to be the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, but the Superdome is Caesars now.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of 2 stadiums that have the same corporate.
The only one that gets me confused is that now it's called the Canadian Tire Center, but at one point the Senators used to play in an arena called Scotiabank Place. It's the same thing. But then the naming rights to the Blue Teams arena came up for auction, and then Scotiabank is just like, we're going to the big one now. Bye, guys.
I like the Saddle Dome. That's a fun name.
Yeah, that's a fun arena.
And the arena looks cool from the outside.
It does.
It's a funny shape.
Very typical Calgary. The Texas of Canada.
Yeah, and we decided Quebec was what? Florida? Just for being unpredictable and weird and chaotic?
I guess, yeah. Also because half of Broward County in the wintertime is people that live in Quebec.
Well, yeah, that's Florida in the wintertime is you probably get quite an array of people from all around North America.
I would imagine.
And spring break too.
That's very true.
So you have Toronto
93 rematch, Toronto Philly.
What do you got there?
Just give me 2 seconds. I have this written down.
Yeah. That would be a really fun series.
Yeah, it would. I have the exact same thing as the historic Joe Carter home run, but maybe Guerrero repeating it. Toronto in 6.
Nice. I have a 2009 rematch, Yankees Phillies, but it's going to be the opposite result. Back in 2009, the Phillies won in '08 and they win again in '09 and could not win their second in a row. New York won number 27.
Yep.
Phillies going to get it done in 7 games this time.
Nice.
Just and Bryce Harper's going to win World Series MVP. Like just those 3 bats are going to be hard for anyone to keep up with, even the Yankees, where it's Harper, Schwarber, Castellanos.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a great lineup. I'm going to say Toronto in 6, wins it at home. World Series MVP. Like I said, if he gets that Joe Carter-esque home run, which I'm predicting the repeat of 23, 32 years later, Guerrero MVP.
Yeah. Well, this was fun.
Watching Guerrero always makes me feel old because I watched his dad play in Montreal live.
Oh, I thought like the end of his dad's career as a kid when he was in like the Angels and the
Yeah,
Texas Rangers and such.
great player.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was playing for Montreal in the first game I ever went to, which
Nice.
was Montreal against Toronto in like the year 2000.
You're old.
Yeah, I know.
Well, this was fun.
And then right after that, I saw one of Barry Bonds' 73 home runs in Montreal in the other game I went to live there, Montreal against San Fran.
Oh, that's really cool.
And then Montreal decided to move to DC.
And we found out Barry Bonds was cheating when he hit 73 home runs.
Yeah.
So,
But we also found out all the pitchers were cheating too.
eh,
The whole league was cheating.
I'm still gonna throw shade at him for it, but that's okay. I do it to McGuire too. So and Sosa, all 3 of them.
Fair enough. Yeah, this was a fun episode. I'm sure we'll do one of these again in the winter as we get ready for the hockey playoffs.
That'll be more like spring, won't it?
Yeah, what am I talking about? I just don't want to think about winter.
Hockey does start next week, though. Blues opening night is next Thursday.
Nice. Already. Yeah, it won't be in the winter. It'll be in like mid to late April, probably right after I come home from that cruise.
Yeah. So we'll have that to look forward to. And with that being said, I don't know why you have torches at a baseball game. That seems dangerous, but grab your
I think that's a prohibited item.
Anyway. Bye, everyone.
Good night.